Okay. I got it now. There it is. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm good now. Can you hear me now? Type yes. Type yes if you can hear me now. Type yes if you can hear me now. Type yes if you can hear me now. Type yes, type yes, type yes. Type yes if you can hear me. There you go. Gary, thank you, brother. I think I know exactly what happened. Let me see. This is okay. Okay, good. All right. All right, we're good now. I think we're good. Okay, everybody, let's start over again. Welcome, hello, to the Big Time Show podcast that is being heard everywhere as we speak. Forgive me for the jankiness right then, but I'm here now. Hello to everybody. I hope you guys are sharing. As I said before, I'm still sharing um the podcast for today. I think it's going to be very interesting because I already know what you guys want to talk about. I haven't said anything, and I am going to go ahead and say it now. Uh, but not the way that you may think that I am going to. Just give me just a few more moments of sharing. Hey, JD, Gary, what's up? I see you. It's Ty's in the building. I see you. Uh, who else is here? Okay, I'm gonna come to my other page in just a second. For those who may be on my other page, I will talk to you momentarily. Um, Forgive me for this. I know what you guys want to talk about. I already know. I already know. I'm gonna address it, just not the way maybe you think I am. All right. Um, because you have to be very careful in how you talk about what you guys already know what I'm alluding to already. Uh, and everybody's not going to agree. I can tell you that now, but it's okay. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. What's up, Key? What's up, Key? I see you. My father is on here. My daddy on here. Oh my goodness. My daddy is on here. Daddy, hey daddy. Douglas L. Brooks Sr. is in the building. My father is here. E. Cush. I can't see everybody else that's on there. I'm everywhere. I'm kind of searching. Listen, we don't even have to waste time with it. The Cowboys, as usual, have fell into um, what we always do, and that is we fall into the drama of the off season. That's what's up, Greg? I see you. E. Cush, I see you, brother. Um, the usual off-season drama, which we have escaped for the last few years, has shown up finally. Yeah, they let me out, Key. I see you, man. They let me out. Mario said, I can't see why I'm a Cowboy fan. Tell me why. I don't know, man. It's just in my blood, man. You know. I've been with them, rolling with them for so long. I don't know no other way, Mario. You stay with the highs and you fall down with the lows and you keep on going. I'm a Cowboy fan, so it is what it is. You know, I ain't going nowhere. Uh, Come take a look. If they 0-17, I'll still be here talking. Thank you, Daddy. My daddy on here. You can get now. If y'all want to know why I'm a Cowboy fan, y'all blame my daddy right there. Some of you guys can't see that comment because I don't know why I can't hook up my personal page for some reason here. But my father is the reason why I'm a Cowboy fan. I never will forget it. My father, who's on here, my dad, in 1977, Cowboys were playing. Excuse me, yeah, 77. Excuse me, no, I'm sorry, 1979. The Cowboys, if you know anything about the history, the Cowboys were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gonna make a long story short, Roger Staubach threw to Jackie Smith in the end zone where he dropped an easy touchdown pass. My father hollered at the TV loud and clear. And then, being a young boy, I think I was only about 6 years old. I just wanted to do anything my daddy did. That's it. Whatever if he was mad, I want to be mad. If he was happy, I want to be happy. I guess in some type of way you were looking for the validation of your daddy. So that's what started it. So he was upset and he cheered for the Cowboys, and that's how I started. So I've been a fan really since '77, because I can remember back when we won the Super Bowl against Denver that year. I can remember my father being happy, but I guess what really got me going was that Super Bowl against the Steelers, which they lost. So if y'all want to blame me, I would not go nowhere. I've never bought another team's jersey. I never worn another team jersey. I will never wear another team's jersey. If it ain't the Dallas Cowboys, you won't see me in it. It's just that simple. So if you want to blame it, it's on Dad. Now, let's get to the real issue at hand. By now, everybody that's watching or listening to me already knows from front to back about Kelvin Joseph, aka Boss Man Fat. Everybody knows about Boss Man Fat. Everybody knows about it. Okay, exactly, Gary. Me and you kind of close the same age. You remember Jackie Smith when he dropped it. Everybody knows the story. Yeah, by now everybody has seen the video. By now everybody knows what has happened. And what we have had over the last few days are people, particularly people that do what I do, as far as bloggers goes and people who have podcasts. They have put themselves in a seat of judgment where they have on their shows, and I'm not knocking people. They can do whatever they want to do on their show. So I'm not knocking them. Drama in this country for years have sailed. Controversy has sailed. A person like Jerry Springer, who highlight of his show is folks fighting, it's made him a millionaire. People love drama. Okay. Then we have people like Judge, the guy, Mari Kovic, whatever his name, Mari Povich, I'm sorry, whose only job is to say you're the father and I'm not, but he's been made a millionaire because of high drama. So I know drama has sound. Gary, I'm gonna have to shoot you the video so you can see in particular. So I'll go over it because my brother Gary is here. I'll go over in just a second and then I'll shoot it to you individually so you can see it. Drama sells. So you can't blame people who broadcast drama because it draws ratings. You know what I'm saying? But on my show, I will not use the court of public opinion to either make Kelvin innocent or make him guilty. So I apologize now to you guys who may want to come in and comment and put yourself in a seat of judgment. I'm not going to do that. You can. I'm not going to kick you off my show or nothing like that. I don't never kick nobody off the show. If you guys want to talk about it, I have no problem with it. So I'm going to be super boring to some of you today because I will not use this show as a court of public opinion until every fact comes out. And I did not some, but every fact. I think that's fair. I think that Kelvin Joseph needs fairness. If his people had him in jail after day one, You see what I'm saying? Without all the facts. I know what it looks like. I know, but I've seen plenty of things that what it looked like, and people walk away scot free. So I'm not gonna do that at all. So I'm sorry if you came on here thinking I'm gonna join in the parade of trying a trial here on my show. I'm not gonna do that. We just gonna let the facts come out slowly but surely. However, there is a tremendous fact. If you haven't heard today, let's look at this real quick, and then you'll see. Mostly everybody know Gary. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. Gary, to make a long story short, there was a fight that happened with a bunch of boss man friends on a certain individual. Boss man was involved in the fight. The video showed that he was in the vehicle, a SUV, was Kelvin Joseph. He was in the car. He said that. Um, those are the facts. But previous to that, it was a fight. He was involved. The young man, of course, got shot, died the next day, supposedly, whatever. And Boss Man, of course, I'm giving a brief synopsis of it. I guess Boss Man then is asked by the police to come down and talk about whatever they talked about. We don't know. We weren't in there. And from that, the next thing we know, the very next day, this is what happened. You guys can see that. The very next day, you see that. Says that 2 arrests have been made in the March 18th shooting death of Cameron Ray. That's right, a whole month happened. That's another whole story in itself. But this comes one day after Dallas police interviewed Cowboys cornerback Kelvin Joseph, who was in the SUV from which shots were fired. And to let's make this happen even better so you guys can see this. And these are the facts. This is nothing else. Here it is. Further investigation by detectives identified Jones and English as the shooters. Jones and English turned themselves into Dallas police and were taken to Dallas County Jail. And here's the most important part as of now. Police believe Kelvin Joseph was not the shooter in Cameron Ray's death. So, for everybody that had him locked away, throw away the key, put him under the jail, because he pulled the trigger that kills your statement. That didn't come from innuendo. That came from the police, obviously, that asked the proper questions. They have determined that Kelvin Joseph was not the shooter. The 2 men, as you can see here in the tweet, there they are. They've been arrested. They've been brought in. They are in jail. Kelvin Joseph is not in jail. That's the bottom line. Okay. That's why you have to let things, come out before you make gigantic judgments on people. You have to let the facts come out slowly but surely. You can't do that. And that's for not fairness. Now, why is Kelvin Joseph out? We don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna even speculate. I'm not even gonna do that. Because I wasn't in there. A lot of people have already said things like an accessory to a crime and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? And you don't know. We don't know. Evidently, the accessory part, because if he was, he wouldn't have walked out of the police station. That's all I know. He did not get arrested. Um, he has not been charged. Okay. These are the facts. It can't be disputed. These are the facts. Okay. Um, the other story that really could be, if you want to really talk about that, is the fact that this thing happened over a month ago, and to be walking around and nobody has said nothing until now. Now that is highly questionable. Um, it is what it is. So it's kind of hard to walk around it. So um, it is what it is. Some people were saying, the common sense or the indication of it is that they asked the police something, and Kelvin Joseph, whether a lot of people believe, okay, he ratted them out. He snitched. Okay. He snitched on those two. That's the reason why those two got arrested. So he snitched. Look, for those that may listen to this replay later on, I asked the question, what would you do? When you, I mean, come on now. If that is the case, what would you do? You have $1 million career, and I guess you're not going to be cooperative for the police and choose the street life. I'm quite sure that the Dallas police, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I think common sense has to enter into play here. I believe that they let this man know, look, if you don't give us what we're looking for, because you was in the car, so you know what happened. You know what happened. You know who had the gun. You know who shot it. You know. So I believe that, and I believe there was I believe it, because I mean, we done seen police do this too many times. Like, if you don't tell us what we need, this is what's gonna happen to you. I'm quite sure that I think common sense. I believe we safe in that. I do. I believe that's again, I'm speculating, so I can't say nothing on that. Okay. All right. So from a police standpoint, or I guess you might would say criminal standpoint, it is looking like that he is not going to be charged at all for nothing from a police and criminal standpoint. However, and this is what I want to talk about. I'm through with the thing. Most of you guys already know all this, so I really don't have to talk about that a whole lot. However, from a football standpoint, and that's what my show is all about, sports. Now we enter into the world of the one and only, our beloved commissioner, Mr. Roger Goodell, who has his own set of rules. And his rules does not have to be in partnership with any federal agency, no police department, anything. If he feels that a player or coach or owner has in any way damaged the brand of the NFL, he reserves the right to sit you down. That's what's always been understood. That is nothing new. That is nothing just came out of just happened because Kelvin Joseph has had a problem. The names of players who have fallen at the hands of Roger Goodell is a long list. And it didn't necessarily have anything to do with a criminal results, criminal investigation results. He set his own rules. So you may get off from the police, but in the NFL with Goodell, you subject to miss the whole year. or you may be subject to miss a few ball games, and whatever he deems is necessary after their own investigation, after the NFL does their own investigation, he will apply whatever it is that's needed at the time. So um, it's not over quite yet with Kelvin Joseph as far as football goes. It's not over. It's not over. Um, you know, Deshaun Watson, for instance, who had all these allegations on him, he didn't play at all last year. Okay, uh, he didn't play, and we're still waiting on some type of punishment for him now. That's what's power that Roger Goodell has. All right. The list go on and on. You see, E. Cush just said something. E. Cush just said Zeke caught a suspension with no charges being filed. Say, I'm sure Goodell licking his chops over this one. It's just, I mean, the list goes on and on of his players who got away from the judicial system, but didn't necessarily get away from the NFL as far as judgment goes. So for him being in that car, for him being in that fight on the video, for a man dying, I mean, I think it's going to be common sense to say that Boss Man Fat is going to pay some type of a price. How many games? We don't know. We don't know. So it's no sense of speculating on that, but I think it's kind of common sense that he is going to miss some games, especially since he's already admitted he was in the car. He was in there when the shots were fired. He was one of the ones that was in the fight with the young man the day before. He was one that held the story for a whole month. See, he can get you just for that. You know what I'm saying? That's he don't operate like a real court. Let's get that understood. And based off that, I mean, he can actually suspend you for withholding information or you just holding it and all that kind of stuff. Being man died. I mean, come on now. So I think it's a safe statement to say. I believe it is. It is a safe statement to say that he will probably pay a price for it. I'm on Podbean right now. Can everybody can hear me on Podbean? Let me make sure that I'm right here, because if I didn't, some folks done missed a whole 15, 20 minutes of me talking about this. I'm definitely not going to replay this because I can't remember all that. Let me know if I can be heard on Podbean, please. Somebody, if you can hear me, let me know. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I'm the only one on there because folks done got out of there now. Maybe that is the case. I don't know what's going on, but anyway. All right. So let's fast forward now. And I hope you guys stay with me because I'm really done talking about that part. It is what it is. There's a host of other brothers of mine that have podcast shows, and thank you, Joe. There's a host of podcasters and brothers of mine who would be glad to talk about this stuff. More and in the speculation type thing. As far as his criminal stuff goes, you can go there and listen to that. I just choose not to talk about that because I still believe there's still more that's gonna come out of this thing, and I think it'd be just unfair to Boss Man Fat, to see it. Can you guys hear me on Podbean? Let me know real quick. Give me a thumbs up, a heart, or anything. Text me. Let me see here. No sound on Podbean. Okay. I don't know what's going on here on Podbean. Okay. I have no idea. Okay. If you follow me on Podbean, I suggest you go follow me somewhere else because I don't know what is going on today with my Podbean audience. I have no clue, no concept. It's going to take a little bit of time, I guess, for me to figure that out. So I apologize to those that are on Podbean with that. All right. Now, here's what my thoughts are. Since you know that boss man, or it'll be a safe bet to say, um, that he probably will not um, be on this team at the beginning of week 1, and I think that's a safe bet. I believe that is a safe bet. And since many of you had penciled him in as our starter for next year, which I have not, but many of you believe that he's the day one starter, I would like to know, if that's not going to happen, it is obvious that Anthony Brown will be our starter as he was last year. A lot of you wanted to get rid of Anthony Brown now. And I thought it was something strange anyway that Anthony Brown was getting his number changed and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was kind of strange to see that he would be, um, you know, getting everything done. You don't make those kind of plans unless you are, planning to be here. I thought that was kind of strange. I did. I thought it was very strange that that was going to happen. So he will be our starter as he was last year. I don't know when or if Boss Man will play. You don't know it either. I even carried a step further. And I know the kid can play because, see, when you make a mistake like he made, your talent level is the only thing that's going to keep you from getting cut. The kid has talent. We've seen many other players who have done horrible things, but because of their talent level, they some kind of way stay in the league. Josh Gordon comes to mind immediately. I mean, how much drugs do you have to put in your body before somebody say enough? But his talent level was so good that he stayed in the league. We saw Kareem Hunt, and we saw Joe Mixon have domestic altercations with females. They paid a price, but their talent level is so good that they found a way to play. Greg Hardy, you remember that? Greg Hardy was a troubled brother who now is a UFC fighter, but the Cowboys gave him a contract. E. Cush is right. Antonio Brown. I mean, good Lord. Y'all guys know about him and know what he, all the stuff that he's done, but his talent level is there. And so he finds a way to kind of stay in the league, some type of way, at least where his name is being called. The only one that had the talent that didn't get back in the league was Colin Kaepernick, and we all know why he didn't come back in. It didn't have anything really to do with his talent. It had something to do way deeper. But that's another subject for another time. But it's just the truth. Uh, I believe Boss will play, especially if he's not charged with anything. that if he does not have to do any jail time, if all he's going to get is some type of probation or something like that, he will play again. Randy Gregory, I forgot about him, was another one. I mean, like the weed just, kept him in trouble before they changed the rules. But he stayed in the league. Okay. So Kelvin Joseph is going to fall into that same category. The question becomes, is he that talented enough that the Cowboys will hold on to him? Or is the situation so bad, like when the public, when the Dallas public and stuff start talking about him, with keeping him on the team, will it cause the public to kind of, turn it back on uh, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys? Will women's groups or men groups, murder and all that, these groups come from and start trying to boycott? And sometimes, owners listen to that type stuff and they'll go ahead and get rid of the problem no matter the talent. So that's another whole issue within itself, if you ask me. Now, here it is. For this season, since a lot of you had him penciled in as a day one starter, and since I think it's safe to say that he's going to miss quite a few games this year, I think he's going to miss quite a few games. I do. That's just my opinion. You may think he may only get 4 games or something like that. That's fine. I don't have no problem. I think he's going to miss a lot of games, somewhere in the double-digit category, if you ask me. Since that is the case, we got a draft that's coming up in a couple weeks. And a lot of you had him penciled in as day one starter. Now, what in the world do you think the Cowboys are going to do as far as the draft goes? I don't find it coincidental, y'all, that this story with Boss Man, the murder happened over a month ago. And just last week or late part of the week before, Jerry Jones now starts this conversation, or he's just throwing something out there that the Cowboys could possibly be moving up in the draft. Now, we don't know what up means. Does that mean 2 spots? Does that mean 1 spot? Or does that mean several spots up or whatever? We don't know that. But Jerry says that this is the draft that he will trade up. If that is the case, and we're going on speculation now, if that really is the case, then it makes you almost have to wonder, are the Cowboys looking at somebody like Stingley from LSU, who some have said offensively and defensively he is the best player in the draft? I don't know if some of you have heard that, but I have. And he's also projected possibly to be somewhere in the double digit category, not drafted in the top 10. But I mean, I don't find it coincidental, not to me at least, that he's talking about moving up. Okay. That's what you got, a corner and Anthony Brown who had a solid year. Now, let's be honest. I know Anthony Brown had a couple of bad games, but at the same time, let's remember that he had played 17 games. All 17 weren't that bad. Matter of fact, in a couple of them, he was outstanding. In a lot of them, actually, he was outstanding. He wasn't no Pro Bowl cornerback, but he was outstanding. He was. He really was. He had a couple bad games. We all know him. The Tampa game, the Oakland game, where he had all those pass interference calls. He had a couple bad games. He did. But Pro Football Focus rated him as one of the better cornerbacks in the entire league. I don't know what the grading system is. I don't know what they're looking for, but when they finished it up, he was one of the top corners in the league and stayed consistently as one of the top guys. E. Kush is right. If you want to just really know the truth, I know Diggs had plenty of interceptions. He did that, but Diggs was getting ate alive on a lot of plays too. I know it's kind of hard to believe when Diggs was voted the first team All Pro, but and rightfully so. But he was his aggression kind of bit him a few times too. Okay, Brown had a real good year, so we're not going to be just dying because Anthony Brown probably is going to be our starter again. However, like I said, a lot of you wanted Boss Man to be the starter this year. All right. Since you kind of figure he's not going to be playing, at least let me stop. At least that's my thought, that he won't be playing, you know, for a lot of games this year. That's me. Then doesn't that kind of change the draft strategy of the Cowboys? I mean, I'm cool with Anthony Brown, Diggs as my starters, and then Jordan Lewis, as our third corner. I mean, we really ain't. I mean, really, that's the team from last year. So I mean, we already know what that brings to the table. Those three, we already know that. So it ain't like we're just dying or suffering. And then the wild card of the matter is how well has Nashawn Wright progressed between rookie year and second grade year. Some of that we're not gonna know until they, start practicing, and start going against each other and all that kind of stuff. But if he's improved, then look out. So if Jerry really is talking about moving up, and like I said before, I've heard that offensively and defensively, Stingley is the best player in the draft. I've heard it. I've heard it. They're saying that this kid is the best player in the draft. And if that is the case, he won't be there at 24. Matter of fact, if he's that good, like they're saying, he might make it in the top 10 after all. He just might. So it don't necessarily have to be Stingley. Then if the Cowboys are moving up for offensive lineman or D tackle or a linebacker, I do believe that the situation with Kelvin Joseph kind of changes things just a little bit. I can see it changing just a little bit. I believe that, especially when you was going in believing. Oh, no one is down and down. Okay, let me get this going. Yeah, let me crank some music up. I knew someone missing. So I'm trying to figure out the strategy for the Cowboys now. Does Kelvin Joseph's potential, departure from the team as far as games being missed, not completely off the team, but games being missed, and right there at 24, if they're drafted at 24, I don't think that you really gonna be spending nothing on no corner there. But if you're moving up, then why are you really moving up? And the real question becomes, when you say you're moving up, where? See, when it comes to that, then common sense also have to come into play when it comes to the Cowboys. What have we learned about the Cowboys the last few years? They really don't value free agents, big name free agents, even middle of the grind, road type free agents. They get guys day 4, day 5 free agents. So they're not doing that. The main thing that we have learned about the Cowboys is that they value their picks. This is when they shine. They love the draft. They love the draft picks. And so it's kind of hard for me to believe, based off that the Cowboys would really package a deal to move way up in the draft, because if you're going to do that, you're going to give up a lot. And I just can't see Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones giving up so many picks for a guy. I mean, it depends on who it is. I'm talking about in this draft, there are really only maybe about, at least what I've seen, maybe 4 or 5 guys. You're not going to put it this way. When you're talking about moving up from where the Cowboys are, you're talking about making a gigantic move. And make no mistake about it. If you, let's say, 24 to about 16 or 15, that's a gigantic move up. You're going to have to give up some stuff to get that. And I can't see them moving up crazy like that for a guy who you just not 100% sure of. You understand? I just don't see that. Now, some folks thinking they trying to move way, way up in the top 10. You only do that unless you're going to get a quarterback. That's it. You're not giving up, your trading picks and then a first or second round for this year and a 5th round for this year and your 2nd round for next year, unless you're going to get up a quarterback. We already have a quarterback, so we're not doing that. And so then it becomes like, okay, who are you moving up for? The kid from Oregon is a for sure ball player, the defensive end. Hutchinson from Michigan is a for sure ball player, great ball player, will work. I love Jordan Davis myself, the defensive tackle from Georgia. Love him. And he might be right there at that range, that 14, 15 range. Who knows? Somewhere in that area. The kid from Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton, the safety, he's special. I'm talking about, like, okay, I can see this dude coming in and being a Pro Bowler in his rookie year. I can see that. That's how well he is. Okay. Hey, Coach Breedlove. Coach Breedlove talk about the guard from Iowa. He's special. Linemen don't get that type of credit, but he's special as well. And so if the Cowboys, Jerry, as usual, could just be throwing a smoke screen up or whatever, and you don't usually say nothing about that kind of stuff. You usually want to catch everybody off guard, which is another reason why I really don't believe it in the first place. But I'm just playing the what if game. Like, who is out there that you really could say, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice 3 picks, whether it's this year or part of next year, for this person. Stingley is special. Sauce, the cornerback from Cincinnati, is special. I'm talking about, these are difference makers. The kid, I think I just said earlier, the kid from Notre Dame, the safety. These got people I'm talking about. They're special. Now, if you're just talking about move from 24 to 22, then that, okay, you're moving up, but are you trying to move up and make sure you get the guy who you want? So in that case, the kid Kenyon Green, the lineman, I think that's where where he'll be at, somewhere in that area there. And if you're just trying to make sure that you get him, because you're hearing other teams may be trying to get him, then I can understand that. Yeah, I see you, Joe. Say Sting going to Washington. I don't think we're really in the running for that, Joe. I really don't, because like I said, that in order to move from where we are to get up that high, you're gonna give up too much. And Jerry and Steven love the draft picks too much. They value draft now. They value the draft. Free agency, they really ain't just too crazy and worried about that. So, you know, it is what it is. I just don't see anything. Chill Will, I don't know if you can hear me on Podbean. I'm about to get you right here now. I don't think you can hear me. I'm typing something I don't know what's going on. No. Y'all forgive me, but problem with live streaming. Sometimes things go cuckoo. I believe that's the case. I believe that's the case. All right. What you say? He could say, as long as it don't turn into an Amari deal, or we spend a first round pick for 3 years of play. I agree 100%, but they're not moving up that high. They're not moving up that high. I can see them moving up maybe if it's really true. They're at 24. I can see them moving up to 20, somewhere between 20 and 24. I can see that. And it's for the purpose of making sure they get whoever that person is in that area. Me personally, though, I believe they just talking. Jared shouldn't even be talking about showing his hand too early. I personally believe they're just going to be patient and just pick at 24 the best player available. I really believe that. So I can see them moving up from maybe there's a lot of controversy saying that Dean may be there or close to it, the linebacker from Georgia. And if that's who you have your eyes locked on, then I can understand the attempt to move up for him, which makes sense because our linebacker depth is horrible. Horrible. When you look at our linebackers, we know Michael Parsons is one. Jabril Cox is coming off of ACL, and really it'll be a rookie year for him because he didn't play linebacker at all last year. So you got a lot of question marks there. He's fast. That's what we can give him, but he really be like a rookie playing. You have LVE, who you cannot depend on because of health reasons. It's not a matter of if he's gonna get hurt. It's a question of when he's gonna get hurt. He is Sean Lee 2.0 version. So that's your 3 starters. Okay. Then you just got Luke Gifford, who's a special team player, and somebody else. I mean, the linebacker depth is horrible. You got 2 of your starters who are going to be coming off, who are injured or injury prone, and one just coming off of an ACL. So I can see us going to get somebody like Dean. Joe says if Cowboys can move up to 19, they might be able to get Devontae Wyatt, which is a great pickup too. I think that's going to be too steep though, Joe. See, the further you go up, the more you're going to have to give up. And like I said, they love their draft picks. They love having them. We got three picks in the 5th round by itself. So they love the draft. Coach said, why not trade Zeke? What'd you say, Coach? Coach said, why not trade Zeke for a 1st round and a 2nd round? We could upgrade both sides of the ball. You could get that for Zeke too, but once again, Coach, that's where that loyalty part comes in now. You know how that's the unsilent killer of the Dallas Cowboys, loyalty. They are incredibly loyal to guys like that. like a Zeke, like a Dak, like a Zach Martin, like a Tyron Smith, like a DeMarcus Lawrence. Those guys who they drafted from the beginning, and you know. But I agree with you. You running back ain't hard to find. Running back is not hard to find. You can get a running back in a lot of different rounds too. I may add. But they're not gonna do that, coach. He could say we just traded Amara for a fifth round in a wide receiver league. We don't have negotiators for that. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Gregory. Hey, Gregory. Gregory says that the player, the Cowboys gone before pick 24. I can see the Cowboys trading down, or the Cowboys can package some picks and move up in the bottom part of the first round. That scenario works as well. And that'll be all dependent on if the person they wanted is gone. That's true. When you're picking at 24, the sky's the limit, because that's almost considered to be somewhat the bottom of the first round anyway. There are going to be some teams that may want to try that. Actually, it's really not a bad position to be in the draft when you're that low. Because teams will try to package deals to get back in the first round themselves. And so that's really not a bad spot to be in. Cowboys, I would bet, will be getting some calls about possibly coming back in, and you can charge them folks too. You can charge them then. I like your idea, Gregory. I think you're absolutely right. That sounds better to me almost actually than moving up. Only if the person, and see, we really don't know who they really, really like. I'm quite sure they do. I'm quite sure by now, being that the draft is only less than 2 weeks away, they know who they got their eyes on. They already know. They know that their board is almost set completely. If it's not already, they already have a good idea of who they want. So if that person is gone, I can actually see that stuff not happening. Miss Ty, can you hear me on Podbean? Can you hear me on Podbean? I see you're there. I see somebody just put a fire emojis here, so I don't know if people can hear me. I have no idea. All right. I'm gonna keep talking now. He could say it. I think a floating Zeke for a 31st round will work. Maybe even some picks thrown in too. Of course you could. And a third round pick is high. It's very high. Fourth round pick, I think, is high too. If you really want to get rid of Zeke, you can, and you can get something for him. He still has value. He's still young. He would automatically become a day one starter for just about every team that you would trade him to. He has tremendous value, but again, I can't see it happening. I believe when it comes to Zeke, even though he's getting paid whatever he's getting paid, I believe he's gonna do exactly what DeMarcus Lawrence did, and that is he's gonna end up taking a pay cut just to stay. I think the pressure from Dak Prescott begging him to stay, because that's one of his best friends. I believe that's going to be too much. I don't think he's going to leave Dallas. I just don't think that you're going to be able to insult Ezekiel Elliott by saying, okay, some crazy cheap offer. And let's be honest. I mean, we're going to be honest about Anthony Brown. Really, to be honest with you, we really can't judge Ezekiel Elliott other than, he's been hurt. But let's all be honest. He really ain't been getting the football. Y'all know that. Y'all know what time that is. You know that Kellen Moore has not been. Uh, you know Dak Prescott. I mean, Kellen Moore has not been giving Ezekiel Elliott the football. So we really can't use that production thing on him at all. You can't use that. You can't use that on him. You can't use that on him when he only getting the ball 10 to 12 times a game. You can't blame Zeke for that. You can't. Yeah. Shane, I'm leaning toward what you just said. However, I do think we can get some trade partners. It's just depending on what the price is. I ain't talking about moving up. I think that who's that? Can't say that Gregory Davis had a nice comment earlier. I can see us trading down. I can see teams that have already picked in the first round and want to slip in on the back end of the first round. I can see them calling the Cowboys. I can see that. I can see that. I really can. I can see that. And the asking price may be too hard, to give up, especially if you drafting high in the second round and the Cowboys have a pick in the second round. If you got two picks in the second round, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. I'm serious. I even go and say even the third round. If you got multiple picks, it's kind of like I said before, Cowboys got 3 fifth-round picks this year. 3. Now, if you can some kind of way get 2 or 3 picks in the second or third round, even just 2 picks in the second round, I'll take it. I'll take 2 picks in the third round. So I do believe if the person that the Cowboys have coveted is gone, I can see a team trying to get back in the first round, and at 24, I can see the Cowboys moving up. If they can take a second round pick from a team and take a 4th round pick maybe from a team, and you telling me that between the 4th and the 5th round, I got 5 picks total? Really? That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, I don't know who those players are, but the draft really don't start to day 2. It's easy to pick day 1. That's why all the cream of the crop is. The real draft starts day 2, day 3. That's when the real draft started. The Cowboys got a lot of bullets in the gun, if you allow me to say that. If you have a lot of bullets in the gun in the 3rd and 4th round, you can be doing some major damage. You could be getting a lot of help for your football team, depth-wise, and even somebody maybe even be a starter there. That's why I ain't just, which will kind of formulate what we're looking for with the first round pick. That's another thing. A lot of us are talking about O-line and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you got 5 picks between the 3rd and 4th round, or the second and 3rd round, you can almost rebuild a whole offensive line with that. I'm just saying. It's a lot of things that can happen here. And I think the Cowboys are open to it all because this really is not, overall, let's be honest, this really is not overall just like an incredible draft. There are some positions where it is very deep. Wide receiver is deep this year. Whatever round you want to go to, it's some great receivers because that's all college football is, really. Passing passing game, in college football. So the receivers are deep. Running back is always, you can always find running backs. Offensive linemen, there's some offensive linemen that, it's pretty deep too. Pass rush is always thick. So, if you got more picks in that middle of the draft, you can do some damage. And that's what the Cowboys love to do. So I kind of like the idea of trading back, if they're not picking at 24. If the guy is not there that they have coveted, if he's not there, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's really a common sense thing to do too, is to start entertaining, moving. All right. I done talked long enough. Call in line is open now. 901-654-6853. I hope my stuff work. I don't know what's going on today. Gotta fix that and figure out what is going on. I know Saturday Night Smoke. Somebody type in. I guess I'll do it. Smoke, go to YouTube. Typing this in on Podbean. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. It is frustrating. It's very frustrating. It really is. I don't like that. Okay. Greg says Cowboys value draft picks, especially if the player or players they covered are gone. Don't be shocked. He said if the Cowboys trade down to bottom of the first or out of the first, I can see this happening more than the Cowboys moving up draft. A lot of holes to fill. I stand with you, Greg, 100%. I believe that scenario there is more probable than the other one. That's what I feel. I feel the same way. Jared know how to play poker now. I know. I feel like Jerry is more he know how to play fake. He know how to do that. Just to get things going, just to possibly get a team to move up or whatever. He's not that stupid. And so, we may not like, all the stuff he do, but one thing we cannot accuse him of. He's not stupid at all. Okay? He's not. He know how to play draft. He knows what he's doing. And it could just be an entire smoke screen. I love what Gregory Davis here is saying, because actually I would do that, what he suggested. If the guy's not there, why not go on, move back? If somebody greedy enough to try to move up to the 24 spot, make them pay a nice price, especially if they aren't in the first round anymore. Make them pay a price for getting in, and then you can go ahead and go to work in those however way the picks are landing for you. As far as the rounds, you can go ahead and crank this thing up for real. I agree with that. And you know how the Cowboys are. We want to get younger and we ain't got to pay all the money. Well, that's a way to do it. Get a real good football player. You playing them on their rookie contracts, and you got a few years to get it going. And you see what I'm saying? So it makes sense. It kind of follows the philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys. It does. The Stephen Jones way. Stay cheap, stay young, let them play out their rookie contract, then get rid of them, because they're going to ask for some money. That's the way Stephen Jones does it. It's not. I'm almost scared to see what Diggs is gonna ask for, and it remind me of Byron Jones. They just got rid of Byron Jones because Byron Jones wanted so much money. What in the world you think Diggs gonna want in a couple of years? You see what I'm saying? So I don't. Come on now. What in the world you think Michael Parsons is gonna want? I mean, come on, Lord. They'll pay him. They'll pay Parsons, but when it comes to corners and digs and all that, I'm not so sure. So it will fit. I love what Gregory Davis said there. I love it. I agree 100%. That's there. All right, the call-in line is open. There it is, 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. You guys can call in right now if you want to. And we can talk about this. Listen, let me say it again, though. If y'all want to talk about Kelvin Joseph, I'm not here to talk about. I'm not about to try him in the court of public opinion here. We all know it was a dumb decision. We all know that. So, okay, we ain't got to repeat that. We know that he's around the wrong crowd. We got that. We all know, what happened. So, we ain't got to talk about that. But as far as how this affects the draft, if the Cowboys are really were looking at corner anyway, but I believe that because he's not, my opinion is he's not going to play. He's gonna miss a lot of games. That's my thought. Does that automatically mean that cornerback may become a position of that's been hiding now? The Cowboys have to be thinking that he's not gonna play, for a good while. Yeah. Greg said the Cowboys got Diggs in the second round. Look how that turned out. Yeah. You got a first team all pro. that's how it turned out. He had a lot of picks in his rookie year. He got cracked a lot. He got cracked in his rookie year, but he had some picks in his first year, his rookie year. He could say we should draft a corner every year regardless. I don't see it making any difference. Yeah, when you throw in Dan Quinn and he pretty much knows what he wants. He knows what he wants. I think he was pleased with AB. Matter of fact, I know he said it. He was pleased with the play of Antonio Brown. And it'll be his second year in the system. So you figure those guys, Diggs and Brown would get better in their second year in the system. So I would think so. You only get more comfortable playing in the system. So I can see that. It probably won't make a difference. We already know Jordan Lewis would be the third corner. So the fight really begins at the fourth cornerback spot, which means that's only on dime looks and stuff like that. See what I'm saying? So, nobody starting over Diggs. I don't care what y'all say about Anthony Brown. I don't see nobody starting over Anthony Brown. And I think Jordan Lewis is a lock for the third corner. I can see that. So the battle then becomes with Nashawn Wright and whoever another corner would be. And so is that really worth moving up? I mean, now if you're talking about getting somebody like Stingley, now we're talking like, okay, Stingley is battling for the second corner spot. Or the kid from Cincinnati. Those guys are what you say, okay, Anthony Brown, you're now on notice. And then that would also tell you that somebody finna go. Cause like if you drive a Stingley, then you're not keeping Boss Man Fat. I mean, this ain't gonna happen, but I'm just saying, let's just play the what if game. If you draft a kid like the kid from Cincinnati, Sauce, um, or Stingley, that automatically tell me you drafted this guy to be your number 2 cornerback, which means goodbye, boss man. I just don't see that happening. But if it did happen like that, you know what that means. Kush, what do you think our biggest need is? Wide receiver, O line, DT, or edge? Let's look at each position totally. Wide receiver, whoever you draft in the first, if you draft a first round a wide receiver, he's not starting. Let's just play if everybody was healthy. Okay. If Gallup was healthy, that would be your number 2 wide receiver. Lamb, though, obviously is your number 1 this year. James Washington, as of now, is your 3rd wide receiver. So if they're all healthy, if you draft a wide receiver the first round, what is he coming in battling for the 4th spot? I mean, he's not starting. And even if you draft a wide receiver in the first round with everybody being hurt, Gallup not going to be there. So James Washington would be your 2nd receiver, number 2, because he can play both in and out. So what? Now you're battling. You draft a first round wide receiver, battling for a slot position. Can't see that one, Kush. O-line. Let's look at the O-line. Terrence Steele will be your starter at right tackle. Zach Martin will be your starter at right guard. Tyler will be your starting center unless you're going to get, kid from Iowa. Left guard is the open spot. Left tackle is not open. As long as Tyron Smith can breathe, he'll be the starter. So left guard is really the spot that's open. As of right now, what Connor McGovern would probably be your starting left guard. I think that's open. If you're telling me that you're going to get a left guard in the first round, then I can see that. There's a chance for your starter there. I don't want to be drafting folks that sit on the bench. That's just me. If I draft you in the first or second round as an offensive lineman, I don't want you to be swing nothing. I need you starting. I don't want to draft a left tackle and he never plays. And I know Tyron Smith, stay hurt all the time. But if Smith stays somewhat healthy and on the field, the guy will never see any playing time. So it all depends what you're telling me the guard is. If you're telling me we're going to get a left guard, I'm all for it. Because we got to protect our $40 million quarterback. You got to give him the line. Anything better is better than Connor Williams. So that's the way I look at it. DT. Well, we've been crying for the last 8 to 9 years. We need somebody to stop the middle. Run stopper. You've been crying there for the last God knows how long. It ain't happened yet. You got to be the right one though, because if it's, and keep in mind, Gallimore is still there, Tristan Hill is still there. But if you're telling me we're getting a kid like Jordan Davis, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm begging for that. I'll take that in a heartbeat. So yeah, I'll take that. Another edge rusher, edge rusher, which we always draft anyway. But that's just another rotational guy. You already got your starters, D-Law and Dante Fowler Jr. Then if it's not them, it's Dorrance Armstrong. So, I mean, those are your top 3 right there. So, you get another edge guy, there's nothing wrong with it. You need as many pass rushers you can get. But considering that we lost Basham and somebody else I'm not thinking about. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with drafting the edge. But if you draft them in the first round, where you going to play? Rick says Stingler was battling injury the last couple of seasons. He could be available at 24. If Stingley is their man, I'm sorry, we draft Stingley. There's no doubt about it. If Stingley is there at 24, we draft Stingley, and that's sometime the player available is overrides the need and the obvious picks. It's kind of like the CD Lamb thing. We didn't expect CD to drop that far, but he was there, and we already had wide receivers. But you just don't pass guys like that up if they're sitting right there. Stingley is one of those guys, especially since he has the tag of saying, they're saying that he's the best player in the draft, offensively or defensively. And if he falls that far, his medicals must be really jacked up. Okay. His medicals really had to be jacked up to fall that far, if you ask me. But if he's there, I'm taking that. He could say so. DT left guard. I think we need to throw one more there in too, because that's linebacker. Because when you really look at the depth of the linebacker position of the Cowboys, it's horrible. It's too many what ifs. We need stability. We don't have it. We don't have it right now. Look at our linebackers. Parsons, LVE, always hurt. Cox, just coming off of ACL. Gifford, who's a special teams player, who never really played the position. And there's one more that I'm thinking of that I forgot. But again, two guys, well, technically speaking, three guys that are on the depth chart has never started as linebacker. That includes Cox. That's not good. LVE, as I said, you can't depend on him. They hurt too much. So really, if you're telling me the only true person I can count on is just one guy, and that's Michael Parsons, you need to address linebacker. That's me. So I think that between defensive tackle, left guard, and linebacker, those are the three spots that definitely have to be addressed. And then from a technical standpoint, maybe not a technical standpoint, but from a strength standpoint, I really believe that you always need to make the strongest unit stronger if you're really talking about trying to win something. And I believe that the defense is the strongest unit on this team. Now they are. I believe that the defense had a chance even without Gregory being there, but with Gregory, wouldn't be no doubt in my mind. I believe that this defense have a chance to be a top 12 defense in this league this year. I think they got a chance to be a top 12 defense in the league. And depending on what you put with this thing, you may be talking about a top 10 defense. And you already know that if you got a top 10 defense in this league, you're going to win a lot of football games. The offense will not probably be the number one offense in this league next year. However, what if the offense is a top 10 offense? So imagine if you got a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, you're going to win some ball games. You're going to win some ball games. I can see the defense only getting better. And I think we got just enough offense. Greg said wants the offense to be high octane. Don't be shocked if you pick a wide receiver at 24. What Greg says. Well, I don't know about that, Greg. We were octane, high octane. We were the number one offense in the league. And then you traded away some gigantic pieces that made us number one. Cooper and Cedric Wilson left. You didn't get better. You got worse. The wide receiver room is nowhere near as good. Even with James Washington, we got too many question marks. We don't know if CD Lamb is We don't know what he is. We don't know if he can handle number one duties. We don't know. We ain't seen it. We know how good he is coming out the slot, but we don't know what he's like when he got to deal with double teams every play. We don't know. We don't know if he can really do what he do. We don't know. Gallup is going to be questionable even when he come back. Is he all right? Is he, has he lost a step because of the knee? Usually it take a whole year to get yourself back together. He won't be taking a whole year unless he sits out. We don't know. That's the wild card. The other wild card is who's going to, James Washington is there. Okay, James Washington probably going to start out as our number 2. So who really is our third wide receiver this year? Who's our number 3? Man, who really is our number 3 this year? That's what he could say. I think we should take a running back and a kicker late too. I don't know about that kicker part. I can see it. I know we need one, but I don't know if we got to draft one. But a running back. See, here's the thing about the running back. Ain't no sense of us getting excited about running backs. Why? Well, our offensive coordinator don't get running backs to football. So, I mean, come on. We know that. Pollard, you remember how long we cried about Pollard not getting the ball? Look at the stat sheet. You see Ezekiel Elliott only carry the ball between 10 to 12 times a game. Offense coordinator don't get the ball. Our third running back don't even get in the game. 1 and 2 are set. Ezekiel, Tony Pollard. Our third running back don't get into the game. You don't. So I'm not excited about no running back. I mean, I think we need one because Ezekiel Elliott is starting to show wear and tear. He can't stay healthy the whole way through either. So it wouldn't hurt to grab one. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that this offense will be still pretty good. It just won't be number 1. It just won't be number 1. They'll still be pretty good. They just won't be number 1. I think they'll still be a top 10 offense. I still think they got enough to do that. He could say, what do you think about getting another quarterback? Or are we okay with Rush and DiNucci? I don't know specifically Ekush with Rush or DiNucci, but I will say this. You're going to have to get a Rush type because the Cowboys don't get a quarterback in the challenge their starting quarterback ever. They never brought anybody in when Romo was there to challenge him. And they really have never brought nobody in to challenge that. Now, some would argue about Andy Dalton, but at that point in time, Andy Dalton was pretty much considered to be a backup quarterback. He had a name, but not somebody really going to challenge him. So I don't think that you can get that. So, we need a quality backup because you just never know about your quarterback. You don't want the wheels to fall completely off if something was to happen to Dak. But I really didn't have a problem with Rush. He knows the system. He's better. We don't need no DiNucci, that's for sure. Ben DiNucci, we don't need him. I can go to the draft and find a better quarterback than Ben DiNucci now. Give me a break. So I don't think that we're not going to get anybody to challenge Dak. He's our quarterback for God knows how long, next few years. And in fairness to Dak, he throws for almost 5,000 yards and over 30 touchdowns and under 20, under right at 10 interceptions a year. It is what it is. The narrative on Dak is not going to change until he can finally win a couple playoff games in a row. Other than that, he'll be a fantasy football dream quarterback. Because when you look at this, if you play fantasy football, if you had Dak Prescott on your team, you very happy because he put the numbers up. But if you're a football fan, you automatically know that you're not too pleased when playoff time comes because he ain't done what need to be done yet. Yeah. Yeah, not. Oh, it is. Yeah. It's an old comment, but anyway. It is what it is. All right. I still got the call line open. I still got it open. Shut it down in a minute. In other words, what we're saying is this. Nobody knows nothing. You know. Just when you think Cowboy fans got it all figured out, the front office does something total opposite. Joe said, should we use one of our 5th round pick for a field goal kicker? I think that's too high, Joe. That's too high. You know, E. Kush just said that. E. Kush said, I would ask when do we start grooming our next quarterback? But we've never groomed the quarterback. We don't do that till the need is there. We got a long way to go. If you talking about groom them, unless you talking about groom the quarterback to sit down on the bench for the next 5-6 years, and the contract gonna leave then. So they're not gonna sit around. As long as Dak Prescott is healthy, he is gonna be our quarterback for the next 6-7 years. Minimum. These minimum 6. Dak Prescott, is he even 30 years old yet? Somebody help me out on that. Is Dak Prescott 30 years old? Let me type that out. Dang. Especially where these quarterbacks are playing now in their ages. Looking it up now, somebody may already have it. Dak Prescott, I just saw it. Dak Prescott is only 28 years old. 28 years old. No, he's 28. I just looked it up. Dak Prescott is 28 years old. Good Lord. Unless he retires early, he gonna play. He gonna be our quarterback for the next. Yeah, he's gonna be our quarterback for the next 6. So 6 years from now, make him 36 years old. I mean, that's young. In today's NFL for a quarterback. So you're not gonna draft a quarterback now and let his whole rookie contract go out, and you don't know nothing. Because as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, the backup quarterback will never see the field. Never. You only see him in the preseason games. That's it. Or when the Cowboys are blow somebody out and he gets in to hand the ball off. I mean, no, one day it'll be time. It's just not now. Dak ain't going nowhere. He's not. Dak is only 28 years old. He is going to be playing. He is going to be playing football for the Cowboys at least minimum. With today's quarterback playing, late in their ages, he's going to be playing minimum 6 to 7 years. Little boxes says, I think the Cowboys will go out to wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round. All the elite wide receiver prospects will be gone by 24th. That's if little boxes, they really need a receiver. See, if you just drafting a guy, if he's not in the 1st round, you just grabbing a guy to be the 4th or 5th receiver right then and there. I just can't. I don't see him drafting receiver at all until maybe later, like the 5th or 6th round, maybe. I just don't see it. Got the kids will never have a chance to play. He could say, well, we never done that before anyway. Our next guys always just thrust in. Exactly. From the quarterback position. Exactly. Kellen Moore was Romo's backup. That was not a threat. Dak was, picked. He was the third quarterback. Then both of them got hurt, and that's history. What history shows, he got the job by injury. Just never let it go. Joe said that's if Jerry Jones re-signs Dak, because after this year, and if he struggles again, I'm not sure, knowing what he did to Cooper, nobody safe is on this team. I think Dak Prescott is safe though, because you just can't find quarterbacks. I think he is safe. And to go what you said, Joe, if Dak struggles, you can't blame Dak Prescott. See, you look at the wide receiver core he has now, in comparison to last year, it's like night and day. You can't blame him for if he ain't got nobody to throw to. That's front office fault. But people will blame that if things don't go right. Just the nature of the position. It is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's unfair to blame that if they struggle. If you see, it'll be just like it was before we got Cooper. How nobody was getting open and Dak was just trying his best. He didn't have no gigantic numbers, a lot of touchdowns, but he wasn't killing the team a whole lot either. But I think we're, unless CeeDee Lamb just, totally kills this year, then, we're going to be really struggling. He could say, yeah, we don't sign those kinds of numbers easily, and we don't admit when. And if we are wrong about a bad signing, we will hold that to the very last second. Yep. That's the Cowboy way. That's the Cowboy way. That's the truth. We don't do things the way other teams do. We always factor in loyalty and crazy decisions with our team. We don't have that type of thing. All right, y'all. I'm getting on out of here. I think we've done our duty for the day. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And for those that follow Christ, you know what tomorrow is. It's a celebration day. If you're a Christian, then you understand what it's all about. And I encourage every one of you to get into somebody's church, whether that is in person or virtually. Take the time out to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He did that for you and I, and the least we could do is just give, that hour or however long your services are. Give that time to him. You're gonna be all right. You got 22 to 23 more hours left in the day. You're gonna be all right. Go ahead and enjoy whatever service that you're going to on tomorrow. Give him that time on tomorrow. You owe him that. Despite all the things that we go through, he has been very, 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 very good to us. He has been. He has been. He has been very, 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 very good to us. And we owe him that. All right. All right. I appreciate you guys on that. I ended on that note. We will holler at you. I'll be with you guys on Monday. Listen, if you have not, I'll be with you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully we'll get everything together here on Podbean. See what's going on. Got to figure this out. All right. Monday at 7 p.m. Listen, if you are with me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, you see on the ticker there how it shows the ways you can support the podcast. I hope one day you will consider doing that by Cash App, $ the Big Time Show. Those are my handles there. Twitter at Big Time Lou, and everyone to join the YouTube channel for sure. And just simply search out the Big Time Show and just follow and subscribe to it. Also, you can type in the Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. That is one way that you can also support the podcast, where you will click the link, and once you pull it up, you just have to simply make a decision on how you want to support the podcast from a monetary standpoint. Whether it's $5 or whether it's $3 or whether it's $30, you can do that. It's all set up for you there. Again, the Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. You'll see it coming here on the ticker in just a second, and there it is. The Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. That's all you have to do, and you will see how we get it done. All right. Again, if you want to do the Cash App, $ the Big Time Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on Monday at 7 p.m. We'll talk about this more. We're getting closer and closer to the draft. And you know, this is the time when the Cowboys really do their damage with Will McClay leading the charge. We're expecting some fireworks this year in the draft. All right. I will see you guys this Monday, 7 p.m. for the one and only. Y'all know what it is. This is. Well, let me see. I got a couple comments. He could say it's 12 days away. Yep. USFL starts tonight. Now, if you want to see some guys play some hungry football, because they trying to slip to the league, you're going to see some guys trying to get to the league tonight. They're hungry. So you're going to get all the heart and soul from the USFL. Guys who got a second chance to play. They didn't make the league, but they got a chance to play. So you're going to see some good guys playing some real ball tonight. You're going to give it their all. Exactly. 6:30 tonight on Fox is you could say it's a must watch. I think we're just so thirsty for football that we'll take it. You know, whatever it is. All right. We'll see you on Monday night. This is, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and put your hands together now. I usually don't say that on this group, but you might as well go ahead and get your clap emojis going. We groove our way out of here. We'll see you on Monday, 7 p.m. This is the Big Time Show.